You're here. Welcome back. Welcome to Thursday, people, and welcome to my Thrival Tribe. If you haven't met me before, my name is Lexi Tommy, and this is my Thrival Guide. Every Thursday, I sit down and I talk to you about how to get your life together. It's a fun little channel on adulting, and I promise you, it is going to help you out in so many ways. So keep watching today and subscribe below so I can keep coming back every Thursday. And it's not Thursday. Surprise! I'm actually giving you a little bonus video because today we are talking about how to take an inventory of your home. And it's genuinely part of this whole month-long journey that we're taking together on minimalism. So watch, comment, like, and subscribe below so you don't miss any of the action. When I started minimalism, I literally did not know where to start. I was very lost. In fact, when I was starting to conceptualize what I needed, I didn't know it was called minimalism. There was nobody talking about this. This was before the Marie Kondos and before the Organize It shows. If you actually have no idea what I'm talking about, it's a series, but it's on Netflix and you can binge watch it. It's awesome. And really it will provide its own type of motivation for you. But when I started minimalism, this wasn't a thing. And I didn't know what I necessarily needed, what it was called, what I needed to do. All I knew was that I needed something. I've gone through my reasons for seeking minimalism in previous videos. But put simply, I started my minimalism journey when I became a parent. It started in the nesting phase when I was pregnant with my daughter, and I started organizing in an extreme way. You would think my husband would be impressed, but he wasn't. He was actually terrified. After her birth, I came home to what I thought was going to be a clean and tidy home that was ready for baby, and very quickly stuff just started to stock up and pile up with all of these gifts that I want to be sounding grateful because I was, but they started stacking up and piling up, and I had no idea what to do with all of this stuff. I had this beautiful, amazing little baby, and I felt the ultimate weight of responsibility. I was exhausted, and now the environment that I had cultivated to be ready for me and organized for me to reduce anxiety and stress in my world was in complete chaos, and I totally did not expect it. But that's the type of person I am. I quickly identify when there is a problem or a need in my life, and I make a very strategic plan to address it. So I quickly identified that I had overwhelming anxiety and ultimate responsibility and feelings of stress over the stuff. I knew it wasn't over the baby. I knew it wasn't over the change I was experiencing in my life. I knew that it wasn't postpartum. I knew it was a direct response to stuff, and it was a negative response to stuff. Back then I looked around and I realized that nobody knew what on earth I was talking about. First world problems, I guess. But I was bound and determined to do something about it. When I started minimalism, like I said, it was out of legit necessity, but I had no idea where to start. And maybe that's where you are today, and that's okay. But when I realized it is legitimately as simple as one drawer at a time. One drawer at a time, one cupboard at a time. You don't have to go through a whole house feeling completely overwhelmed. You can take it small little space by small little space. So I did. I took it one step at a time, and eventually I understood my bin system. So you have bins ready to go when you're going through. You have one for recycling, one for like reusing, repurposing, that type of thing, one for donating, one for garbage, one for regifting or giving to somebody else, and maybe one for selling. And then it's just as simple as taking the bins from room to room. Now that sounds like a lot of work, but if you're only doing a drawer at a time, a room at a time. It's not difficult to take the bins along with you. So then my next question really quickly became, yeah, but how do I know if I need something or if I will need something? So I know you've heard a lot about this, but let's go through it really simply. A need is an essential. A want is a desire. A need is something you need to survive. A want is something that you feel like. A need is something that will not change over time. And a want is something that will. It's like that trendy yellow shirt that you bought, that tomorrow the trend is pink. A need is something that you use daily and regularly, that you love and cherish. My next question really became, how much do I keep? That's easy too. As I've mentioned in previous videos, minimalism looks different for everyone. So a good way to decipher how much you need is by understanding how much you use. My needs are really based on per month. So I know that I can't just have 4 bowls for 4 members of my house, because I'm not really into disposable ware and harming the environment with that disposable ware. So I know that I need more than 4 bowls. I know that I need to keep more than 4 bowls so that I can have enough to meet the needs and the occasions of a month. I have children and they have friends over all of the time. So I go through a lot of bowls daily. But another good way to answer this question fully is to look at the categories. So one category at a time. Walk around your house. How many bowls do you have? What do you use them for? If you don't use them, why don't you? Don't use those dishes. Those dishes are for good. Minimalists don't have dishes for good. The dishes they have are quality and used every day. And everything has a purpose, because everything in your home has a reason to be kept, so it must be special to you, but it's also got a purpose and is used regularly. So, here are my bowls. I love them and I use them for every day and for special days and for all the daily life. When my last dishes were chipping and became brittle, I invested in a super heavy, very neutral set of dishes that were going to last the abuse of my children. I didn't go out and buy the cheapest set. I didn't go out and buy the latest print. I was going to pick out something that was going to last hard abuse. Really, with kids it's hard use, right? And that was neutral enough to go with everything and for every occasion. And actually, I should show you this too. I actually also picked them for the shape. Like the size that they are is perfect for soup or cereal. It's got a shape that the last ones we had were like squared. This is like round. I liked the weight of them and it works really, really well for day-to-day function. But in order to truly minimize your stuff, you need to first have an idea of what your home's inventory is. To create a full inventory, it's just as simple as creating categories and putting things into those categories. Don't take everything out of every cupboard. Instead, gather one category at a time. If you have it in multiple places of the house, if things have migrated, put the category together in one space at one point at one time so you can see all that you have. For example, mugs. Okay, gather up all the mugs. If there are mugs downstairs in the basement, gather those. If there's some in the storage room, grab those. If you know that there's some in the kitchen, grab those. If there's some in multiple cabinets, grab those. All of the mugs, grab them all. Put them in one space at one time and evaluate just the mugs. Then you get an idea of what you need to use and what you would regularly use. If you regularly entertain 20 to 40 people, then you might need more. If those occasions can be areas where you use solo cups and that you wash those solo cups for the environment, please, that could be possible too, instead of having permanent actual dishes to entertain for 40, because when would you normally do that, right? It is really the easiest way that I've found to minimize your life and your belongings and your stuff. The elimination process does not have to be a decision-making process entirely. It can just simply be elimination, right? So out of the t-shirts, which one wins? It's a good strategy, and it's something that you can implement quite quickly. And the number is really in your head. Don't let me set your t-shirts at 5. Maybe you don't have the same categories in your life that I have in mine. 5, when I work full-time outside of the home and I'm working with professional wear, 5 t-shirts is plenty for a season. And as you start going along in minimalism, you're going to do several sweeps of the same area. So it's going to be a natural progression to adjust and purge more. But like I said, your starting number of 5 t-shirts, my number is 5, yours may be different, and that's okay too. Once you have your goal list, like your inventory list, so mine will say, for example, the 5 t-shirts. Once you have your list, that is your goal list for your inventory, tuck it away somewhere safe so that when you have the next purge at the next season, you can bring the list out again and see how you're doing. It gives you a really good guideline to know, how did I make out with 5 t-shirts? Was 5 t-shirts enough? Or did I buy additional t-shirts because I needed more? Or did I overbuy this season and now I'm stuck with all of this stuff? Did I wear the ones that I kept? Like, you will have an idea once you just get started. And like I said, with each session of minimalism, it'll just get easier and easier and easier. You're just going to love it. You're going to find that this time is for you and a cleansing of your life, and you may embrace it way more than you think you ever would. So that's it, folks. I support and I love the changes that you are considering making towards yourself and your life. And if no one has told you yet today, I am so, so proud of you. They say it takes a village, and now you have one. And please, if this video helped you, like, subscribe, comment below. It helps me keep coming back Thursday after Thursday every week to produce good content for you. I want to say thank you to my Thrival tribe, and thanks for popping in today. I love that you are learning to invest in yourself and your life. Welcome, Thrivers, to my Thrival Guide. We'll see you soon.